Royal Caribbean bans yet another item. Hurricane Helene affects cruising. Dining options for Celebration Key have been announced. And one woman shocks Virgin with her security photo submission. Ahoy Travelers, it's Amy here with your weekly Cruise News Roundup and my thoughts on some of the biggest stories of the week. Prior to Hurricane Helene making landfall on Thursday, local cruise ports prepared for the oncoming storm. With Helene expected to be a Cat 3 or 4 by the time it hit Florida, both Port Canaveral and Port Tampa Bay closed to cruise traffic on Wednesday evening. Now, multiple ships have been affected by the storm, which ended up hitting land as a Cat 4. Royal Caribbean serenaded the seas, altered course from the Western Caribbean to the Bahamas to avoid the path of the storm. And guests on board are going from a 5-day cruise to a 7-day cruise as the ship waits to get into port. Guests are being compensated for the delay via complimentary Wi-Fi, discounted drink packages, extra loyalty points for the 2 extra nights on board, and reimbursement for fees incurred by changing airfare. Now, how disappointed would you be to get 2 extra days for your cruise and be compensated at the same time? Of course, when one cruise is extended, that means the next itinerary is shortened. So those who were booked for a 9-day Eastern Caribbean cruise that was scheduled to embark on the 27th now won't embark until the 29th and are also going to be sailing a Western Caribbean itinerary. Now that would be a huge disappointment, at least it would be for me, as we have done quite a few Western Caribbean cruises, but not Eastern ones. A letter given to guests explained the safety of the ship, guests, and crew was taken into consideration. Due to the planned closure of the Port of Tampa and to stay clear of the hurricane, we'll have to delay our return to home port. We'll now arrive in Tampa on Sunday, September 29th, and enjoy some extra sea days along the way. We're terribly sorry for the last-minute change caused by the weather. Your safety is our top priority. Please know being on board is one of the safest places because our ship can quickly move out of the way of any inclement weather. Now, 2 of Carnival's oldest ships, Elation and Paradise, were forced to remain out at sea due to Helene, and guests set to embark on the next sailings were notified of the changes. Elation was able to dock on Friday, which meant a shortened 3-day cruise for the next sailing. And those set to sail on the Paradise received the news that their cruise had to be canceled since the port did not reopen in time. Now, John Heald commented on it this morning. "We had to cancel the Carnival Paradise cruise and will be refunding everyone, of course. I know you were kept waiting, possibly too long, but we were desperately hoping that the Port Authority would open the port yesterday on Friday, but they did not. So the ship will not be coming home until this afternoon. I am very sorry. I know how much you will be disappointed, and while I know you will all understand that we cannot control hurricanes or open ports that are closed, there will be sadness from those who are looking forward to 4 days of fun." I'm sure there are people that do not understand, however, because that is always the name of the game. Now, the Utopia of the Seas, which has recently been dealing with some issues, also was late returning to Port Canaveral, but just by a few hours, pushing back embarkation for the next sailing. So on Wednesday afternoon, Port Canaveral posted on X that all cruise guests planning to sail from Port Canaveral on Friday, September 27th or Saturday, September 28th are advised to contact their cruise lines to confirm their embarkation and ship's departure time. This is what you need to do. If you're ever sailing and there's a hurricane in the area, always check with the cruise line to see if things have changed. Well, of course, these were not the only ships that had to reroute and change embarkation and debarkation times. There's too many to really discuss. All these affected cruises make for a good reminder that when you sign a cruise contract, you're acknowledging that your itinerary could change, you could miss ports, etc. It's especially important to keep this in mind when sailing during the adjacent months of hurricane season. And while I would encourage everyone to get trip insurance for every cruise, it's especially important during hurricane season. So were any of your cruises affected? Let me know in the comments below. Well, after last week's unpopular announcement that Royal Caribbean will be banning multi-sockets and extension cords, they have banned another item this week. But is this really going to affect many people? Well, after the viral video of a couple using a baby monitor to keep eyes on their sleeping children while at dinner, Royal has come out and banned baby monitors, saying that they could interfere with ship communications and or navigation systems. Do you think this will affect many parents? Hopefully not, as parents really shouldn't be needing baby monitors, as they should not be leaving their children alone in the cabin. And the couple that went viral for their video did come out and say that their kids were never left alone. They had somebody with them, but that they still wanted to monitor them, which to me seems like a little bit of overkill. Why would they need to monitor their sleeping kids if someone was in the room with them, like they say? Let me know what you think. Also, after the backlash from their announcement last week, Royal has come out and clarified that while multi-plug outlets are prohibited, devices with multi-USB ports are still allowed. Now, I understood that from their original announcement, so I'm not sure if that clarification was necessary, but maybe it was for some people. However, if I were to sail on a Royal Caribbean cruise, that would mean I would have to purchase a new device, as all of mine have extra sockets as well as USB ports, and they're all on extension cords. Carnival announced the dining and beverage options for their new private destination of Celebration Key. There will be more than 30 food options, including 4 full-service restaurants, a food hall, 9 food trucks, 5 snack shacks, 2 counter service kiosks, and 12 bars that will be serving local Bahamian specialties, beachside favorites, seafood, barbecue, and a number of other cuisines. Now, some of the outlets will include complimentary lunch menu options for guests as part of the destination's Island Eats offering. This is where guests use their sign-in sale card, the ship card, to get 1 complimentary Island Eats meal at quick casual outlets, snack shacks, or food trucks. Guests can instead choose to receive 25% off 1 entree per person at the full-service restaurants. Now, this excludes their Pearl Cove Beach Club restaurants. Once again, it seems that Carnival offers the most options when it comes to included restaurants, even when guests are on land. Virgin staff got a good look at one cruiser, but before we get to that story, if you enjoy this video and maybe even learn something, consider subscribing with the notification bell on so you don't miss out on any future posts. One woman gave Virgin Voyages staff a shock with her security photo. So when taking her security photo for an upcoming Virgin Voyages cruise, Kate Goodwin decided to take the photo after getting out of the shower. Now, while believing that her photo would be cropped to show only her face and shoulder, that did not end up being the case. In a now viral TikTok video, Goodwin explained that she believed only the area shown within the guidelines would be sent in as part of her security photo. She discovered her error when she received an email from the cruise line stating that her photo submission included nudity, and she would need to resubmit an appropriate photo. Well, if you're a fan of musicals or just classic 80s films, then you may be excited to learn that Royal's upcoming Star of the Seas will be featuring the musical Back to the Future. Little is known about what to expect exactly. However, calls went out for auditions by the line for prospective performers, and they've clarified this will be for a musical on Star of the Seas. Would a musical be enough of a reason for you to book a specific ship? Considering most ships are going to producing their own shows instead of paying the licensing and royalty fees for Broadway-style musicals, it seems that lines are banking on that answer being no. However, for those of us who really like musicals, it might be enough to sway our booking decisions. I know that if I had a choice between a couple of different ships and one of them had a Broadway-style musical I really wanted to see, I'd be more likely to book that ship. What about you? Well, are you ready for more information on cruising? Why not stick around and check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone.